Welcome, parishioners, to Jerren, Corrupted Bishop. As far as opening hand goes, yes, we will keep on this one. I like it. We do have a human that cares about a creature dying. That's going to give us some card draw. We have a human that cares about creatures dying and getting a 2/2 black zombie on the battlefield. And we've got Night's Whisperer and we've got Turok in the hand. So, hey, we will keep on this one. I like it. But yes, welcome to the Church of Athreos. Not the traditional Church of Athreos, but we've got a corrupt bishop joining us today, which we were very excited to talk about, and we'll jump into that. And play against Animar, which has protection from our entire deck, so let's have some fun with that. So we're playing Jerren, Corrupted Bishop. Whenever Jerren enters the battlefield, actually we'll get this popped over here. Whenever Jerren enters the battlefield or another non-token human you control dies, you lose 1 life and create a 1/1 white human creature token. Then for a 2-mana activation, target human you control gains the life link. Okay, so let's lead off with Swamp, and I think what we're okay with right now is probably going Night's Whisper. I think I like that. Get some card draw going. We've got a Sack Outlet and Viscera Seer, which is nice to see, and we run into a couple more Swamps, so we'll take that. Anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. So we're playing Jerren. Got the 2-mana activation, target human you control gains lifelink until end of turn. Then, the spooky part, the Athreos part, at the beginning of your end step, if you have exactly 13 life, you may pay 6 mana. If you do transform Jerren, Jerren turns into a demon, which is so delightful. All right, so let's lead off with, I guess at this point, well, probably to do is going for Grim. I think that sounds like a pretty good play. Let's lead off with Grim, and then anything else, kick it back over to our opponent. So once we get Jerren onto the battlefield transformed, it's going to turn into Ormondal, the Corruptor. Flying, trample, and lifelink. Then for an activated ability, sacrifice another creature, draw a card. And look at that. That's some beautiful artwork right there. That is, oh yeah. That's what makes magic magic. So we're playing against Animar, Soul of the Elements. Protection from white and black, and if you're keeping score at home, our entire deck is black, so that's protection from us. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1 counter on Animar. Then creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each +1 counter on Animar. All right, so we are looking at Turok being kicked, and they've got 6 cards in the hand. So we can end up going for that. Let's go and make the land drop for the turn. Let's go and get in for 3. At the very least, yeah, let's go and do that. So let's go and get in for 3. We got Grim coming in. So we can go for Turok, or we can actually end up going Viscera Seer, Necromancer, and that way we have a Sack Outlet, and we'll at least end up with something on the battlefield. I think I kind of like going with the kicker cost on this one, so let's go for that. So let's get Turok onto the battlefield. Opponent's going to discard 2 cards at random. Let's go and put these... Put those 2 +1 counters on there, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So we get our opponent to discard Birthing Pod, which is always nice to see, and then Starix. Whenever this mutates, exile cards, X permanents, X number of times it mutates, put those permanents onto the battlefield. So, hey, we'll take that. Not too bad. But yeah, so we did cover Animar, did cover Jerren. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, TCG Player. If you go to bit.ly/JoltMTG, if you want to give a tithe to the Church of Athreos, that's where you head. If you use that link, much obliged, I certainly appreciate it. Let's give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders. If you're looking to play Magic online, let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com/Jolt for 10% off of any sort of order stuff off their website. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to directly support cool content like this, there's a link down in the description below. But if you're keeping score at home in the pews of the Church of Athreos, it's officially free time, so let's have some fun. So next turn, we're going to be looking at 5 total mana. So we will definitely probably end up dumping out. Yeah, I think I like this. We'll dump out Jerren. That way we can get Jerren onto the battlefield, and then we can end up going for Necromancer the following turn. So I do like that. So let's get Swamped down. Let's have Jerren come down. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. And unfortunately, we don't have a way to lose life right now, but hopefully we can find something, because I really want to get Jerren to flip. That's kind of what we're doing with this stack. And yeah, whenever they spoiled it, it was just, it's like, this is right up the Church's alley. So I was very excited to build it. In fact, this was the first deck that I ended up building out of the new cards that released for Innistrad. All right, so we get that human onto the battlefield. Oh, look at that spooky pumpkin. I love it. All right, so let's go for Carrion Feeder. And let's get Viscera Seer onto the battlefield. There we go. And so Animar is sitting at a 2/2, and it does have protection from black. So if we do end up swinging with Turok, we're not going to be able to do anything with it. So at this point, we're simply just going to go ahead and pass the turn over to our opponent, because we could swing in with Grim, but we have open Sack Outlets. We have at least the ability to cash in about 3 or 4 card draw with Grim on the battlefield. So I think what we're going to do on this one, we're just going to hold back. Now, as far as our human count, we've got human with Grim. We've got human with Turok, and we've got human with Jerren. So once we get down Necromancer, we're really going to be able to get some good value between cashing in card draw with one of our creatures dying, or getting another human down. So that'll really work out. And we do have, I think we are running some target opponent sacrifices a creature style effect. So we'll see if we can run into a tutor, we might end up going for that. But yes, as far as the deck goes, it's a very heavy reliance on humans. You know, we do see some sack outlets, and that is going to be Scorching Dragonfire. It would die. It's going to be exiled if it would die instead. So let's do this. So let's go for an activation. Let's go for Viscera Seer. We're going to sacrifice Jerren. We're going to send Jerren back to the command zone. Yes, we will definitely do that. That's going to be an extra card draw from Grim, and then we're going to get the Viscera Seer Scry. So let's go ahead and put Westvale Abbey 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's going to be 9/7 Indestructible. That would be us getting rid of our entire board state with the 2 on the ground. And we're going to be able to go for that next turn. Yeah, we might. Are we okay with that? Is that what we want? Yeah, why not? Let's go and put that on top. Let's have some fun. We'll see where that takes us. All right, so we're going to dodge the Scorching Dragonfire. That does get rid of our board state, though, unfortunately. But that'll at least be some pretty decent card draw, because it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 once we sacrifice them all across the board. And then hopefully we'll find something off of that 5 card draw. If we wanted to try to set it up with Necromancer to get some extra zombies on the battlefield, we could. But since we are playing against Animar, and I have a lot of respect for Animar, because Animar can go off very quickly, we might end up going for the Ormondal, the non-traditional way of getting Ormondal on the battlefield instead of getting Jerren all the way down to 13, because let's be honest, we came here for some Ormondal. But yeah, as far as the core concept of the deck, we are running I think we're ending up running about 30-something creatures in here. The vast majority of creatures in this deck are human. We do have some different situational cards in here, like Carrion Feeder and Viscera Seer. When you're building a deck that cares about sacrificing your own creatures, you want to have your sack outlets be free, and you want to have them be cheap. And there's just not a lot of good human sack outlets out there in mono black that are, satisfy both of those clauses, because we have this board state that's developed. If we had to pay 1 to sacrifice a creature with a human, you want to be able to have that sack outlet be totally free. All right, so we're going to draw into Westvale Abbey. And since we do have haste with that, let's have some fun. Let's get down to Westvale Abbey and let's go for it. All right, so we're going to get the Grim Trigger to draw 3 cards off of that. And we do have Living Death in here, so not the end of the world with that. So I'm cashing another card draw. We've got Bloodthorn Vampire, and see what we run into. That's going to be Blood Pact. All right, so we get Westvale Abbey to flip. Let's go and swing in for a 9/7. It looks like we're able to get in the air with that, too, which is going to be very nice. So get Ormondal onto the battlefield. We'll take it. Swinging across for 9. Okay, and drop him down to 28, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. So, but yes, with next turn, so we're going to be able to make the land drop that's going to put us down to 6. That does put Jerren at 5, and that does give us the option to flash in Thieves Guild Enforcer. So at least we're going to be able to get an extra human token off of that. And also with the Grim Death Triggers, the card draw, we actually ended up in a pretty good spot. We've got a human that's going to amplify Jerren. We got another sack outlet in Bloodthorn Vampire, and then we got a card draw source in Blood Pact. So that's really going to work out for our ability. And, 9/7 is not going to close the game out, but with them not having any sort of way to deal with, having a creature with flying or having something with reach, it's going to work out for us, so we'll take that. All right, so it's going to be an extra counter on Animar. That's going to be Tishana entering the battlefield, and draw a card for each creature that you control. All right, so it's going to be 3 card draw off of that. Could be worse than that, and they are going Hellbent. Well, they'll get the Tishana trigger, and they'll have 3 cards, but at least we know that they've exhausted most of the stuff in their hands, so we'll take this. Now, if we do run into a board wipe, that would be one of the best ways to kind of hit the reset button on this. We're able to get rid of Animar, get rid of Mir, and get rid of Tishana. And then the other good thing is that Ormondal has Indestructible. So even if we do run into a board wipe, that's going to keep Ormondal on the battlefield and get rid of their entire board state and kind of put them in some sort of top deck mode. So we'll take it. So we've got the entire... Oh my goodness, look at this. All right, so we got Karuga on the battlefield. And shout out to Hermit Druid on Karuga. And let's see if they decide to swing in. So it looks like they gave Karuga haste. That's going to be 5. That's going to be 8. That's going to be 14. And that's going to be exactly 20 coming across, which is going to drop us down to 26. So let's see what we can do about this. We might end up changing the Jerren line of play next turn to simply just end up going for Blood Pact to see if we can't hit some sort of board wipe to to get a lot of this under control. And now, if we do end up going, power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand. So they do have 7 cards in the hand. Okay, so they got the crew swinging in. We can't block on that right now. That's going to drop us down to 26. That will be 6 total commander damage. Let's see what we rip into for the turn. We're definitely going to be praying to Athreos for a board wipe, and that's going to be Lightning Greaves. Okay, so let's go Blood Pact, targeting ourselves. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's go and drop in Swamp. And I guess at this point, if we're going to try to set up for next turn, we'll go for Atherid Necromancer. Because it's going to be 6, 12. That'll be 15. We can leave up Ormondal as a blocker. So let's go and get Necromancer onto the battlefield. And with us running into another 1-drop human, that at least allows us to get some extra tokens on the battlefield with Jerren. So let's go and get Necromancer onto the battlefield. And the other good thing about Necromancer in a deck like this is whenever another human creature you control dies, create a 2/2 black zombie token. So one of the nice things about that is that it doesn't care if that human was a creature, creature card, creature permanent, or an actual human token. As long as a human dies, we're going to be able to cash in a zombie token. So that'll really work out for us. But yeah, outside of the deck, we've got a really heavy reliance on humans in here. We've got, different situational ones in here. Mainly, it is interesting running stuff like these guilds, Enforcer and Bloodsoaked Champion. Even something like Bloodsoaked Champion kind of does some pretty nice stuff in here. It can't block, let's say we end up using Bloodsoaked Champion as some sacrifice fodder, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield, and activate this only if you attack this turn. So that's going to allow us to keep kind of pumping up Jerren, or at least kind of getting those human tokens onto the battlefield. We are running... I was trying to figure out, yes, we are running some sort of way to, let's say that if we do have Jerren on the battlefield, because there's a lot of ways in Mono Black that you can pay a bunch of life to get you down to 13. We are running, I think it's Blood Celebrant. Blood Celebrant in here has an activated ability, black mana, pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So we can use that to ping our life total down to 13. And, if we have the 6 mana, we can get Jerren to flip like that. There's other ways that you can do that. There's Phyrexian Processor, which is a 4 mana artifact. Once you get that onto the battlefield, pay any amount of life, and then you can put a Phyrexian token onto the battlefield equal to that life total. So that's another way. Let's say we're sitting at 24 and we wanted to get to 13. We just drop down Phyrexian Processor, make sure we end up at 13, and we're good to go. There's also Wall of Blood in here. Not in here, but Wall of Blood is another thing that you can do. You can pay 1 life, and I forget what exactly what Wall of Blood does, but and it's just such a mono black card name right there. Pay 1 life, Wall of Blood gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Now, as far as this deck goes, I really wanted to kind of hit it on mono black aristocrats. Not necessarily like trying to close the game out with, Blood Artist style effects, but really wanted to focus on sacrificing creatures to get card draw and to get Jerren down. So stuff like Wall of Blood and Phyrexian Processor, it's not in here, mainly just because we have one way to do it, and if we need to get our life total down that low, we can set it up that way. But I didn't want to run a ton of cards in here to get that going. All right, so opponent's got Ulamog. Can't be countered. Destroy target permanent. Let's see what they're going to target. Poor Necromancer. Again, Necromancer's on the battlefield and got Ulamog peeking out of the sky. I say no. Get that Necromancer out of here. Ulamog's scared of the Necromancer, so we'll take that. So that's going to be Ulamog on Necromancer. We'll see what we rip into for the turn. About the only thing that we can really get from this would be Toxic Deluge to get rid of all the stuff out there. It gets rid of Ormondal, and we have to pay a ton of life for that to even happen. So we'll see what we can top deck into. At least we did get Ormondal into the battlefield, even though it's not the traditional Ormondal with Jerren right here. But let's see how they decide to swing in, and we'll kind of see what we can do about it. Okay, so we're moving to the combat step. But yeah, when they released a deck like this, this is what started my channel. If you don't know about the Church of Athreos, it's been a long time since I've done the Church of Athreos, to be honest. And I'm not super happy with that. So I will be putting emphasis on getting more Church of Athreos videos going. But it was like the second deck I ever put out on my channel, like 4 or 5 years ago, was this black-white cleric deck. And so whenever they released Jerren as this human cleric that cares about getting a demon on the battlefield, I was like, this is just beautiful. Oh yeah, we forgot about Annihilator 4 with the haste. All right, so let's go Ormondal. Actually, we'll leave Ormondal. We'll get rid of Zombie and then go down the swamps. And that does put us, I don't think we're going to be able to get it on this one, but let's see. So let's go ahead and block on Ulamog. And then that's going to end up still being 10. That's going to be 15. That's going to be enough right there. No matter how we block, that should be just enough once I look at that one. So good game to our opponent on this one. That's why Animar can be very gnarly sometimes. So, no, excuse me, we're still going to get it. That's going to leave us at 8. I did the math wrong. All right, so we still got an option, but even going -8, well, we've got lifelink with Ormondal. All right, so let's see. Let's see if we can pray to the magic gods that hit Toxic Deluge right off the top. And we run into Liliana. All right, so we're going to go and scoop it up, save our opponent a combat step. Good game to our opponent on this one. I'll catch you in the next game. All right, bye.